last day of Rocky Mountain Race Week. We're getting ready to leave James's house. That's where we stayed again last night. And today is going to be epic. Driving through the Garden of Gods and the mountains and all that stuff. And then we will end at Bandimere and begin racing at 3 p.m. Racing ends at 9 p.m. and then awards after that. And then after that, we're gonna go to sleep for a few hours and then start our trek back to Iowa. But first, we're gonna bolt some slicks on the old girl today and see what we can do. It's very unlikely that we can go a 13-second quarter mile at this point, but we're sure gonna try down to the last second because we made a whole lot of progress in 1 week and did a whole lot of stuff that even I didn't believe we could do with this old girl. So enjoy the trip, all these highlights, and we will see you guys at Bandimere. Anybody else love them? Some brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Good road trip food. Alright guys, we are at the Garden of Gods, which is our first checkpoint of the day on our way up to Bandimere in Denver. As we're going, Andy and I were brainstorming and we decided we were trying to figure out how to rig up a new fuel pump in the car, and without the proper supplies we don't really know what we're getting into. The next best thing is we just need a little bit more fuel flow, so I had this idea. I'm like, well, if you add a 16-volt battery to a fuel pump on any car, it increases the fuel flow by 25 to 30%, just because the voltage makes it spin faster and work harder. Well, there's a secret group for Rocky Mountain Race Weekers. You can only get in it if you're part of Rocky Mountain Race Week, but we posted in there and said, does anybody have a spare 16-volt battery? And somebody came up with the idea of hooking up a Milwaukee or DeWalt drill battery. It's an 18-volt, which will be just fine, and that'll be pretty easy. So we stopped by O'Reilly's, picked up a 4-pin relay and some wire, some spade terminals, and we're gonna try and rig up this Milwaukee battery. So what we'll do is we'll turn the relay on with the original power excite wire for the car, and then that will turn, you know, the Milwaukee or DeWalt, whatever we find, drill battery on, and that's going to deliver enough voltage and enough power to make a pass on track. Hopefully that delivers enough fuel that we can bump the jets up to that 150, because if we can do that, we'll be smooth sailing into the 13-second range, especially with the tires we're about to get from the PFI Speed guys. That's hoping they fit. It might happen. I thought it was over, but it might happen. Had some deer for lunch.
Time to add some oil and check some tires, see if we almost found a deer there on top of us.
Hey, you locked him up pretty hard. I was like, I wonder if he saw it. Sees it.
I just instantly grabbed his arm and I was like, oh my god.
Broke down, about hit a deer.
Not
Did that run in front of you or behind you?
Right
in front of me.
If
It's
you
probably 6-7 foot from the car.
Yeah,
If you would have hit that deer, I would have strapped it to the trunk of the Grand Marquis. I would have pulled that jump, strapped it to. We would have rolled into the track with us. Yep.
And the front end all screwed up.
Sorry, Bambi. That would have rounded out our week. So funny. So we're getting real dangerously close to Bandimere, which is cool. One thing that I don't think Cletus showed it in one of his videos, but there have been people along this route in every small town and every area. So nice. They just have free drinks for us, and they have a sign, Rocky Mountain Raceweekers, free pop, free water, whatever. Unbelievable restoration of faith in humanity. Just cool people. I mean, people just like cars, and they, you know, it's just one big community, this whole automotive world. And I honestly, with all the things going on in the world, one of the coolest things is that this week we've seen zero of that. It's just literally been people hanging out with people, getting along, all different, you know, bank account sizes, jobs, types, colors, races, everything you can imagine, religions, whatever. And nobody cares about any of it. It doesn't matter. We're just here to have fun, be humans together, and help each other out throughout a week. And that's probably my favorite part about this whole thing. And we made it. We're in Morrison, Colorado, which is just down the road from Bandimere. Super cool little town. Gonna grab a bite to eat and then try to get back to the track and work on the Grand Marquis. See if we can't get a little bit more fuel out of it, spray a little bit more nitrous, go into 13s, and then call it a week. Turnt.
Give us some more voltage.
Yep. So I'm gonna grab some food now and head to the track. Holy cow, we made it back to Bandimere. Who would think that you can buy a clapped out mess of a Grand Marquis for $1,600 and it gives you zero troubles all week? I've had cars I care about that give me more troubles than this thing. Anyways, we're back here. We're gonna see if those drag wheels that we have being delivered to us fit. If they do, we'll have some traction, and then after that, hopefully figure out the fuel pump deal, hose her down, and see if we can't go a 13. Be a cool ending to the week. Look at the pack mule, made it through the mountains.
Made it. Kind of limped it in here, but made it.
It's all about making it.
That is true. Look at the freaking Wally made it.
Well, that's what I was just saying, dude. I've had cars I cared about and like service that didn't make it this far. Not even just race cars. Yeah, one of the things that you guys don't realize being on the other side of the camera is that by day like 5 or 6, 4 or 5, 6, you're just shooting to keep it together long enough to make it through because you're tired, it's hot, you've worked on all kinds of stuff, you stay up late every night, you get up early, you're worrying about things. And so by the end, it's kind of like a relief, I guess. I don't know. No, but it's really all about stamina at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're excited to complete it, right? It's like a challenge.
Yeah.
Whether you're in that.
And so the stamina comes into play because a lot of people just kind of give up and just want to finish. And people who are leading the pack have to just want to finish, but they also have to want to win. And you're out of parts, your shit's broken, it's like cobbled back together. It's difficult.
Everybody thinks it's easy to like just quit.
Yeah.
Something don't go right, but
when you have an 850 car, it seems easy to go win the 850 class. It's hard to get to run 850 in different conditions and different prep, and
it's hard to get your first pass in on day one if you're stuck.
It's hard to get your first pass in when your dry sump has metal shavings in it. So. Yeah, it's crazy. A million things can happen. There's so many variables, but hopefully that kind of gives you guys an idea of don't just bring a race car. You need to bring a tried and true beast.
Literally bring anything.
What?
Literally bring anything.
Yeah.
1,500 miles in a week is a lot of driving, period.
Yeah. We had a literal street car, and I'm exhausted. We sat on a couch all week.
Yeah. This couch is
a very crappy couch, don't get me wrong.
Back's a little sore now.
Yeah, back's a little sore. Got some tires. Jamie from PFI had these slicks and these cheapo drag wheels sitting around. Said we could use them, so we're only going to need one of them, but it's got to equal the height out, so we'll just put both of them on. Hopefully they fit. So we got this drill battery, which is 18 volts. which means when you hook that to a 12-volt fuel pump, it's going to spin it faster, which means it's going to flow more fuel. So in theory, if we really are out of fuel, when we connect this, we're going to basically cut the 12-volt supply on the relay from the factory and put a little male-female so you can always hook it back up later, and then hook this up as the power supply to the fuel pump instead of running wiring all the way to the back. Then it'll have 18 volts to the fuel pump, and then we should have a lot of fuel, and we should probably be able to go really fast.
Trackside booster pump.
So what I did is I found the fuel relay on the car. Number 30 is always a supply from fuel or from a relay. So found it on the bottom side. I'm just gonna cut it right here. So now the car doesn't run. And then what I'll do is I'll put a male-female spade connector, one on each side, and then I'll have a second one made up for this battery. So it'll just be that simple. And then basically when this feeds in, the other side of the relay will feed out straight to the fuel pump.
So this will be race mode and you're on street mode.
Yeah, so and we can go right back and forth. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah, this is fucking amazing, huh? Alright, let's see if it works. Might have to get a backup battery in case we want to hop off it. What I'm gonna do is zip tie this sucker down here. Alright, so I got a negative, it'll push in here. You got a positive, it'll push in here. In theory it should start. We gotta swap it here too. This is race mode, so when we get to the track and get your drill battery hooked up, you just go ahead and switch that over. And my science experiment is finished.
How is it going over here?
We're all done.
Sweet.
Just a quick fuel filter swap. We weren't sure how good the fuel filter was, so I figured we'd put a new one on for good measure. Make sure that's not our restriction. Moment of truth. Oh, it's on the drill battery, baby. Yes. You can hear the pump spinning faster too. Yeah. I would, it's going down. I put a zip tie around the battery so they don't pop off. It worked!
Woohoo!
This is awesome. Alright guys, we're in the lane for our first pass of Bandimere. Got the battery wired up. Got the slicks on. They're about an inch shorter so we get a little run out.
From Motion Raceworks. He's got it in full race mode right now.
Okay guys, the crazy drill battery, impact battery mod worked really well, as did the slicks. We went 1405 at 97 point something mile an hour, and this is a lot higher elevation, so it's safe to say it picked up the power it should have on the next, you know, the difference between 100 and 125 shot. I was a little easy on it out of the hole because I wasn't sure what it was going to do, but it dead hooked. So we went ahead and just put the 150 pills in it. Andy's turn to pilot. We switch off back and forth every other pass. He's going to let it move just a minute before he gets on it because we're a little bit scared of a broken axle since we only have one tire that's spinning. We don't have a spool, we don't have a Lincoln lock or any of that stuff. Thought it'd be more fun to do it that way, but it does hook up, so this could be it. This pass could definitely be it. Think this is the right one, Matt?
I think this is it. I hope this is it.
It just feels right.
Go 13 so bad.
It feels right.
It does. Just have him turn around and sneeze the other way, and it'll propel this thing into a 13.
Matt said when you're going down the track, if it feels good, just turn around and sneeze to make sure it gets to the turntable. All right, guys, can we do it? About to find out. Go! Come on! Dang it! Still got some work to do. Just made my first pass at Bandimere. We're rolling across the scales and we are at 38:30.
Go to drive.
Go to drive.
Spotted, bought some nitrous, put some speed holes in it.
Windows.
Drag radius in the thing.
Some arrow. Man, we did it all. Should just take the bumper off. It's like 500 pounds lighter. I think put it across the scales. Yes!
Dude, I called it. He wrote down.
That's alright! Yes! Goal achieved.
What was the first pass that ran here when he bought the car?
18.2.
You picked up 5 seconds in 1 week and 1,300 miles later.
Badass. Motion Raceworks helping us with that. Congrats to Doug Cook on that 13-second.
That's what calls it 500. What? 1389. That's freaking amazing.
Frick yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not to mention, like,
I've never been so excited about such fun.
also Big Hat Racing. Will Power down here with that natural
We're
aspirated
definitely gonna have to do
Mustang
something.
from Big Hat. Appreciate them helping us out with that live feed as well.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe
It
that.
gets helped
I hit it and it just like barely spun just a little
on
bit.
that deal too. So thanks so much to
I
them.
didn't even want to trip the tire there.
Just barely. You probably need to lower your air pressure a little bit. And then it just left.
Also, a bunch of our sponsors on this deal. We got Disorganized Grime and Aeromotive. Got First Class Auto helping us with the naturally aspirated small block class. Red Tide Marketing helping us with the big block.
All right, guys, we are back from Rocky Mountain Race Week. While it didn't start off the best, I'm still a little bummed about the Nova because we were so excited to run it. I can't thank you guys enough for engaging and supporting us in the whole Wally quest. It was a super fun thing. I think it should maybe give some people some ideas how much fun you can have for a very little budget. I've never done that before and I had a blast. So thank you to the new subscribers, the new viewers. You guys' comments and stuff are so cool. And it actually is gonna inspire us to start a bunch of new projects and bring you guys along with the journey. One of which will be this S10 Blazer behind us. We're gonna start pumping out content on a regular basis because you guys love it, we love it. We get to race, we get to have fun, we get to build stuff, which is essentially why we started the business. Thank you. Don't forget to check out our 15% off apparel sale right now through the 7th, so it's our 4th of July sale. And also, every $100 you spend on apparel or parts or anything gets you an entry into one of our giveaway certificates. We're giving away 5 $100 gift certificates and 1 $500 gift certificate. And all you have to do is keep buying the car parts that you normally buy. So that's our way of giving back to you guys on this 4th of July. Thanks for tuning in. Do not forget to hit that subscribe and like button and definitely share a comment if you have something to share with us. We will see you guys next time.